You won't believe what we discovered they're going to be putting on the 2027 Jeep Wrangler JL. Today on Dirt Road Cred, this is the mega March Jeep news. We've got trims, colors, the Fox Commando, and a whole heck of a lot more. Well, we've got some real juicy stuff for this video about the 2027 Jeep Wrangler JL and all sorts of news to go over in this video. If this is your first time stopping on the channel, welcome, and we'd love to have you as a part of the Dirt Road Cred crew. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content. If you don't, you're free to go on and do whatever you'd like on YouTube. But if you liked it, guys, we would love to have you here. We're trying to hit 100K really soon, but let's get into the news because that's what we talk about here. So first of all, let's talk about the Jeep Gladiator White Cap Edition. This was something that was released last week or the week prior. It was a couple days ago, but there wasn't a ton of hype about it. And it was launched on Jeep's website. There was a countdown ticker going, and this is one of Jeep Gladiator's Convoy drops. There was actually no media about the Convoy kind of setup, but they're just dropping different editions. It seems like when they feel like it, because this was way after the other one. They're not matching with what's currently coming out on the Wrangler. They just seem to drop what they like, and this was a white cap trim. So if you guys aren't familiar, the Wrangler white cap has been out for a couple months now. They're starting to see them delivered at dealership lots. We're excited to check one out in person just because we want to see what the white accents look with different varying colors. And from what I gather on the Gladiator, it is very similar. So you get the white three-piece hardtop, color match fenders, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's nothing too overwhelming. No new engines, no new crazy extreme recon, nothing like that. It's not as extensive of a trim as the Willys 41 edition, which we had a chance to check out just the other day. You guys love that video, so definitely check that out if you're looking for a full walk around with our opinions and hot take at the end of it. But the 41 trim is a real trim. It actually gives a ton of customization. The white cap is more, it's an exterior beauty package, but at least to get a color match top, a different accent pieces. But that is available right now and kind of cool to see. I'm curious to see what it looks like on the Gladiator for you Gladiator guys, because the Gladiator, the top is a lot smaller. You don't have so much more real estate. So I don't know if the white, maybe it'll look cool. The next thing, we were just down talking with Anthony, and he said for his ordering system on the dealership side, the Moab 392 was grayed out, so it was not able to be ordered on there. And what's interesting about the Moab 392 is that for such a good value there at the $79,995, definitely a great package. If you guys are curious, you're discussing 392s with your wife, with your husband, with your loved ones, we have a video on that as well too, comparing all the 392 trims that are now available as of this date. And what I think is going to happen is, if it is true and they're removing it from the order guide, they're kind of waving in or welcoming in the Willys 392. And does that mean the 12 for 12 specialty editions are truly limited runs? We didn't really get any clarification from Jeep on exactly what they're doing, but if these do get grayed out and you can't order them anymore, kind of seems like a big marketing miss that you could have just said, hey, available for 1 month, order while you can, and then once it's gone, it's gone. But right now, the Moab 392 was grayed out here, at least in Pennsylvania, and I'm wondering if that's ushering in the Willys 392 to replace it. And speaking of the Willys 392, let's get into the Fox Commando, which a lot of lucky veterans and active service members were selected, and let's chat about it. So this is a bit interesting here, and what's really cool is kind of the community here at Dirt Road Cred, and that's one thing I want to touch on before we get into the Fox Commando. We've probably had no less than 10 emails, Instagram messages, Facebook messages, and direct DMs about folks being selected for the Fox Commando. And what we personally thought was so cool about that is not only that they decided to reach out to us because they know we talk about the Fox Commando, is just how great of a community we have here. All these guys are either veterans or active duty military, which we greatly thank you for your service. And if any crowd is deserving to win one of these, or not win, but have the chance to buy one, it's you guys. So thank you so much for everyone that reaches out. We love when you guys send that. So it was a bit interesting though. We're getting a lot of emails, a lot of text messages, all sorts of stuff. And you only had, it was like what, 2.5 days to select or actually like kind of confirm it. These emails were going out, that was like Thursday, right? Thursday evening, about 7 o'clock, we were starting to get some of these messages. And it said, submit your information by February 28th at 11:59 p.m. So that gave you 2.5 days to basically go on, put your info, confirm, and then all the emails we said is that a dealership will contact you within the next 5 to 7 days, and then you'll kind of go through the ordering process. It was a bit odd. It was a bit odd. It was very quick, like, let's get these things kind of selected. And what we're personally hoping is that these emails didn't get filtered into your spam mailbox. You didn't use a mailbox that you typically don't use, and that everyone that was selected had the opportunity to actually order one. Unfortunately, Dad wasn't selected, so I guess we're just going to have to Hellcat his current 2022 Willys out there. We don't need the 392. We'll just go bigger for Dad. But for everyone that was selected, we would love for you guys to keep us up to date on what is going on with the ordering process, what that looks like, and overall how the experience is for you. The one thing we did see is that you can add on once you buy it, or not buy it, but select, yes, I'm good to go. You can add on the supercharger, you could add on the exhaust system, and you could add on the winch. So those were extra on top of it, and you could add those onto it. Now, the other thing I found interesting, and we were looking on the forums a little bit, and people that were selected were also curious, just like us, whether or not you're going to be given a hardtop and actual doors with this, or are you just going to get a Bimini top and tube doors. There was an email on there. I cannot confirm the validity of it, but it did look like it came from Fox, and they said you're going to get doors and a color-matched hardtop, and then the tube doors and the Bimini top are going to be put in the back as accessories. So that's actually really cool. I thought it was going to have no top and doors, but the more you think about it, how are these things going to ship in rail yards? How are they going to go anywhere and travel without getting absolutely destroyed in the interior? You almost had to include that kind of stuff. So we're curious on that entire process. I think it's a bit interesting. And also, is it starting off as a Willys 392 or is it starting off as a Moab 392? Another thing that, Ryan, we have absolutely no idea about. But what we think is going to happen is why they did all that right around this weekend is I'm hoping the Willys 392 opens up this week. That's why they said to reach out to dealers 5 to 7 days. And if it's built off of a Willys 392 trim, they can click the order button. But that also means hopefully you guys can order this as well very soon as a Willys 392. So we're also really hoping that all 200, it's actually 249 because one of them is going to charity to be raffled off. Or go with Bear Jackson, Meekum, one of those. But we're hoping everyone that actually got the emails was able to take advantage and go on and click yes, because it was like a 2-day time frame. So no press, no media about it. And honestly, we wanted to get this video out a little bit earlier, but we got even more and more news over the weekend and things coming in. So we had to wait a little bit. So hopefully if you were selected, maybe check your spam folder too, just to make sure if you got it, you can probably do something with it still. Reach out to Fox if you haven't selected it. But the other thing that's out, Ryan, Joose is back. The Joose color is back right now on the Wrangler. It's on the order guide, and you can order it. A little bit unfortunate because we thought Joose was going to be more of a rare bird, and also odd for us because it was just in the 2025 model year, and there's still brand new Joose Wranglers sitting on the lot. So a little bit odd to reincorporate Joose and not put gosh dang Goldilocks in the ordering system. I can't wait to order one of those, and they just won't put it out there. But Joose right now back on the Wrangler. And then a really cool thing is the updated order guide, which we were sent over and is all over publicly. If you wanted to order a Jeep just from a dealership, Ryan, was it called the Blue Jean Soft Top? It was the Blue Jean Soft Top. So not sure what that's going to look like. Not sure what trim it might come on, but it looks like a Blue Jean Soft Top is as an option code in the back end ordering guide. Now, what do we think that's going to be, Ryan? I personally think back in the day, CJ5, CJ7s, Levi's edition. They used to do Levi's edition, and if you go and look at some of the Super Jeeps, some of the CJ7s, they had Blue Jean soft tops, and they had Blue Jean fabric doors too. If they're taking the time to actually design a soft top, I could definitely see this incorporated into a few different trims, perhaps both coming up in the 12 for 12 and then maybe something coming out for the 2027. But very cool to actually see that is that they are creating a new color for the soft top, and we just will have to wait and see exactly what that looks like. But we'd love to see your comments down below. Do any of those ducks that are sitting there, maybe that most recent one.
The next blue one in a couple days.
That is a white top, but honestly, the ducks, like, there's no, the text, like, nothing means. Like, the last one, the Willys, was like, all thrills, no frills. Like, no one's guessing these words. Like, you can't guess them. And it was like, it said, showing topography for all the highest peaks you might climb, or highest, it's like, okay. Like, all right, guys. So, will it be that next one with the blue? Maybe they'll do, like, maybe you get like a dual top group with the white top and then like the Blue Jean soft top in the back. That'd be a cool trim. I don't know. It could be something like that. Maybe, I don't know if they have any partnerships anymore. Jeep doesn't really seem to do it with like Levi's, or they actually did a Columbia edition TJ back in the day. Really weird, very rare edition. I know like Ford's done in the past with the Eddie Bauer clothing brands, Carhartt's with the Chevy. Will they come back with a clothing collaboration? A Levi's jean would be probably pretty cool inside, but we'll have to wait and see. So we talked about everything else in the news today. This is the big one. This is something that, if you guys read the title, this is kind of crazy stuff coming out here. And if you guys have watched the channel, if it's your first time on the channel, you guys know we have a massive community, whether it's folks in the automotive aftermarket industry, at dealerships, Jeep owners, all over the place. This one actually comes from a dealership service technician, and he sent us a really cool picture. And this picture was a brand new tool released for the 2027 Jeep Wrangler JL M235 rear axle. That's pretty cool stuff. If you guys are familiar with the axles, you know you go anywhere from a Dana M186, you got a Dana M190, Dana M210, and an M220. The M220 is the rear Dana 44, the big kahuna, the one that's on the Rubicon 392, your Extreme Recons, your Rubicons, all that fun stuff, is the 220. And I hate that Dana did this because it's all metric now instead of standard. I was always used to Dana 44s, Dana all that stuff. But the 220 was the largest. And this tool says when servicing the Dana M235, which is even bigger. So this is a bigger rear axle, and it specifically says Dana M235 rear axle. Now what's neat about that is we took a little bit of time, being that these are labeled as metric there, we had to figure out what this axle comes from. We had a lot of thoughts over the years of if they were going to do a differential upgrade, what would they go to? You've got to use an architecture that perhaps is already out there, and the folks at the Dana factory can already implement or just kind of retool new brackets and maybe a new hub pattern. The Dana M235 is the Bronco Raptor rear axle. What's cool about that is we did a lot of research. A lot of companies make aftermarket parts for the Dana M235 rear axle. What's neat is that it's a 37-inch tire on the Bronco Raptor, and that thing pushes, it's like over 400 horsepower in the Bronco Raptor, twin turbo EcoBoost on there. So it's capable of supporting more power. It's capable of supporting a factory 37-inch tire. What do we think Jeep is going to do with that, Ryan? Because we saw last year, was that the Wrangler that had those on it? It was that concept vehicle that said equipped with Dana 50 front and rear axles.
Was that teal one?
Was it the Gladiator or the Wrangler? I can't remember.
It was a teal concept vehicle, I think.
But it said equipped with Dana 50 front and rear axles. And I think we asked one of the guys at the show, and he didn't know anything about it. But this thing coming down the pipeline starts to make me wonder, are they going to be doing any engine upgrades? Are they going to be doing a larger factory-equipped tire? Because in order to have the tow rating, all the safety standards, all that fun stuff, and then make sure nobody blows up the rear axles all the time, is you have to make them larger to equip it with a 37. And we've never seen a 37 from the factory Wrangler. The only thing we've ever seen was the AEV JL 370, which you could get on the 20th anniversary. That had 37s on it. But what's neat for us is I had not seen this information. This is crazy stuff coming out, and I'm curious on what it says comes out for the tooling for the front axle. Like, what are they going to do with the front? Maybe they'll do a Dana 50 up front. They'll probably still make it a full float, and I'm excited to see what the future looks like on the Jeep Wrangler JL. I'm curious if this will also be a factory-added product, like as you just order your Jeep and that comes with it, or it's like an additional upgrade. Just like you can upgrade a lot of these Jeeps to 488 gears, would you be able to option on a Dana M235 onto the Wrangler and then kind of have it come out like that, or be able to pay the factory a little bit more money and get the bigger rear end? I know every single person that wheels their Jeep and uses it would gladly pay more money at the factory to have a bigger axle. It saves time, labor, the resale cost, aftermarket products that don't bolt up. This is going to work on the Jeep. And overall, what's exciting about that is just seeing what the future possibilities are with the 2027 Jeep Wrangler. I got to give credit where credit's due. It seems like Jeep is listening to the customers lately. Ryan, they've pretty much discontinued the 4xe. They're adding a ton more V8s into it. They're really giving back. And man, wouldn't it be awesome too? What if they put this axle on like a stripped down two-door and it was like a Wheeler's edition and it just came with the big axles, sport wheels and tires, but you could just modify the crap out of it. That would be awesome. So we're curious on that. Let us know what your take is on it. And maybe if you're in the service department at a Jeep dealership, drop a comment down below on what you're seeing kind of coming out in the service department. But overall, getting this image in from a service tech at a dealership is really cool stuff to see what is coming down the pipeline. It kind of, I would say means that it might be coming out in the very near future if they're already starting to get tooling to be equipped to work on this style of vehicle. Or who knows, Ryan, maybe it could be like a JPP product available on the 2027 Jeep Wrangler, but I think it's probably going to be something factory, or at least be able to be a factory option. Maybe it's even a specialty trim in the 12 for 12 coming out for the 2027 model year. There's also been rumblings that there might be a refresh for the year 2027 in the Wrangler or the Gladiator, and that's been kind of talked about all over Facebook groups for the union workers that are at the Stellantis plant. So we've been seeing some things about that. We do not know anything about that, but we'd be curious to see if a new rear end means new running gear, means new engine, means more power. What does it mean for the Jeep Wrangler and then ultimately for the Jeep Gladiator as well? We do not know yet. And it's cool for us to be able to see this information, get to talk to you about it, and also like how exciting this is that the Jeep Wrangler looks like it's going to be getting some new parts. Like that's probably the most cool thing is like you're seeing. We've had the Dana 44 since 2018 in the JL. To see it get a bigger rear end, that's awesome. It's really cool stuff and cool that we're able to bring it to you here on Dirt Road Cred. And that's hopefully the reason why you guys follow this channel. We've obviously got so much going on. Ryan, we've got a lot going on. We got parts coming in. We're traveling all over the country later this week, next week, later this month in March. We'll be out at EJS. Daytona Jeep Beach is rapidly approaching, and I believe our permits were just approved, so more to come on that. But we will be having a kind of like a beach gathering for 100K subscribers on Thursday, so there will be some times posted. We'll make a whole invitation once we get everything final approved, but everyone that watches this channel that will be attending Jeep Beach, you guys are more than welcome to attend. It'll be right in front of the Max Resort at the beach, so it'll be really cool, and it'll be on the ocean side, so right, you'll have to come on the beach and park with us. But yeah, we got some cool stuff going on, Ryan. We got new products coming out, too. I'm not even going to tell everybody what it is, but you guys like plug and play. You guys like lighting. And let's just say the outside of the Jeeps are a little bit tricky to see sometimes at night. So I'll leave it at that. We're testing it right now. We've got a lot of different colors for it, too. And I think you guys are really going to like what we've got coming out. If you guys haven't seen our 41 walk-around video, definitely check that one out. That one was fun, and we thoroughly enjoyed being able to check it out. Plus some more of the recent install videos, the bed roll bar, the tire carrier, the wheels and tires on the Jeep. We've got a lot more installs for the purple Jeep that are going to be this week and next week and the following. So a lot coming for that one, getting it ready for summertime and the show season. So thank you guys so much for following along. If you don't mind, drop a comment on this video, maybe like it, or give it that hype button for whatever that does with YouTube. It seems to really help get this in front of more of the Jeep audience. So thank you guys so much for watching. Ryan's behind the camera. I'm here talking to you, and we want you to get out there and earn yours.